Good evening. Welcome to the Underrated Sports Show, my channel, the Underrated Darkness. Also, welcome to my brother, co-host She Stay Sleep. Before we get this going, get these announcements out the way. Um, like I say, subscribe to my channel, the Underrated Darkness. If you want to know more about me, I have a Facebook page named Jeremy Thomas. Also, I have a Facebook group. Also, all in caps. JTNVP, Thinking for Ourselves. Also, I have a Twitter account, also in caps at JT Blackman44. Also, I have an Instagram account, lower caps Underrated Darkness. Check out my lives I had done last week, and especially the one yesterday. It was very successful. A lot of information was happening in building. So check that out. And other two live streams I did Thursday. Also, watch out for the midterm elections of our perspective in November. Okay, so watch out for that. And so and check out also check out other lives that She Stay Sleep TV had done too. And so I'm gonna here goes the brother, the co-host of the Underrated Sports Show, She Stay Sleep TV.
What's going on? Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody in the chat. Appreciate all the love and the support, as always. Welcome to the Underrated Sports Show. And hope y'all like hope y'all like tonight's show. Should be interesting. So y'all stay tuned. Appreciate all the love and the support, man.
And also this yeah, well, he's a great now. His name is Rayford Johnson. He's a track and field star in the Olympics. He won a gold. So here goes the story. And by almost end of the the story, I will be inviting people to the chat. Um, welcome and everything. Welcome, nephew. And here goes Rayford Johnson. Rayford Lewis Johnson, born August 18th, 1935, is an American former decathlete and film actor. He was the 1960 gold medalist in decathlon, had won silver in 1956. He previously won a gold in the 1955 Pan American Games. He was the USA team flag bearer at the 1960 Olympics and led the Olympic Flames at the Los Angeles Games in 1984. In 1968, football player Rosie Greer and journalist George Pimpton tackled Saddam a moment after he fatal shot Robert F. Kennedy. After he retired from athletics, Johnson turned to acting, sportscaster, public servant, and it was instrumental in creating the California Special Olympics. His acting career includes appearances The Sins of Rachel Cade, 1961, the Elvis Presley film Wild in the Country, 1961, Pirates of Tonga, 1961. That's supposed to be one of the best movies in the 60s. None but the Brave, 1965, two Tarzan films with Mike Henry, The Last Grenade, 1970, The $6 Million Man, Roots, The Next Generation, 1979, and the 1989 James Bond film License to Kill, opposite Timothy Thornton. All right. Oh, shit. Film. Johnson was born in Hillsborough, Texas, but the family moved to Kingsburg, California when he was 5. For a while, they was the only black family in the town, a versatile athlete. He played on Kingsburg High School football, baseball, and basketball teams. He was also elected class president in 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 both junior high and high school. Age 16. His coach, Murray Dobson, drove Johnson 24 miles to Tulane and watch Bob Mathis compete in the 1952 decathlon Olympic trials. Johnson told his coach he could I I could be I could have beaten most of those guys. Dobson and Johnson drove back a month later to watch Matha victory parade. Weeks later, Johnson competed in the high school invitation decathlon and won event. He also won in the 1953 and 1954 California State High School decathlon meets. In 1954, as a freshman at the University of California, Los Angeles, his progress in the event was impressive. He broke world's record in his fourth competition. He pledged Phi Lambda Phi fraternity, America's first non-discriminatory fraternity, was class president. At UCLA in 1955 in Mexico City, he won the title of the Pan-African Games. Johnson qualified for both the decathlon and the long jump events for the 1956 Olympics in Melbourne. However, he was hampered by an injury and forfeited his place in the long jump. Despite this handicap, he managed to take second place in the decathlon behind compatriot Mill Campbell. It would be turned out his last defeat in the in the in the event. Due to injury, Johnson missed the 1957 and 1959 seasons, the latter due of a car accident. He broke the world's record in 1958 and in 1960. The crown to his career came at the 1960 Summer Olympic Games in Rome. His most serious rival was Yang Chang in Taiwan. Yang also studied at UCLA. The two trained together under UCLA track coach Elvin C. Duckley Drake and had become friends. In the decathlon, the lead swung back and forth between them. Finally, after 9 events, Johnson led Yang by a small margin, but Yang was known to be a better in the final event of 1500 meters. According to Telegraph UK, legends had that Drake gave coach both men to him, advising Johnson to stay close to Yang and to be ready for a hellish sprint at the end, and advised Yang to put as much distance between himself and Johnson before the final sprint as possible. This is crazy. This is something. And I'm gonna say more at that point. And that's what they was doing back then too. It was in track and field, and advised Yang to put more distance between himself and Johnson before the final sprint as possible. Johnson ran his personal best at 4 minutes 49.7 and finished just 1.2 seconds slower than Yang, winning the gold by 58 points with the Olympic record total of 8,392 points. Both athletes was exhausted and drained and came to be stopped a few paces past the finish line, leaning against each other for support. With this victory, Johnson ended his athletic career. At UCLA, Johnson also played basketball under legendary John Wooden and was a starter on a 1959-1960 men's basketball team. Wooden considered Johnson a great defensive player, but sometimes regret holding back his team early in his coaching career. Remarkably, imagine Rayford Johnson on the break. This story, they had me take me here, take me here. So just be patient with me, family. You get back. But, all right, Johnson was selected by Los Angeles Rams in the 28th round, 333rd overall of the 1959 NFL Draft as a running back. While training for the 1960 Olympic Games, his friend Kirk Douglas told him about a part in Sparklers that Doug thought might make him a star. An Ethiopian gladiator, Dreba, who refused to kiss Sparklers, played by Douglas after defeating him in the duel. Johnson forgot the role, but was forced to turn down because the Amateur Athletic Union told him that he would be a professional, therefore ineligible for the Olympics. The role eventually went to another UCLA great, Willie Stoughton. In 1960, he began acting motion pictures and working as a sportscaster in the 1963-64 season, appearing on an episode of ABC drama about college life, Channing, starring Jason Evans and Henry Johnson. Johnson made several film appearances, including James Bond films, License to Kill, as a DNA agent. After his acting career, he worked full-time as a sportscaster in the early 1970s. His weekend sports anchor on a local Los Angeles news seems uncomfortable in that position, but eventually moved on to other things. Oh, friend. So it goes so far, you know, he, he he wanted to do other things, and because the story with how they had this so far family that they had they said certain things at this part, and then they take me to another part. So just bear with me, bear with me. Oh shit. I don't know why they do this for. Let me take you. Hope everybody doing all right. Everybody doing fine. Okay. Okay. There you go. Fine. DA agent. After his acting career, he worked as a full-time as a sportscaster in the early 1970s. His weekend sports anchor was on the local Los Angeles NBC News. Seems uncomfortable that position, but eventually moved to other things. In 1968, he worked on a president election campaign of Robert F. Kennedy with the help of Rosie Grill. He apprehended Sirhan immediately after Sherman had assassinated Kennedy. Wow. He discussed the spirits of his autobiography, The Best I Can Be, published in 1999 by Galley Trade Publishing and co-author with Philip Goldberg. Wafer Johnson is a sportsman for Hershey in track field games and is very involved in Special Olympics Southern California. After attending first Special Olympics competition in Chicago in 1968, conducted by Special Olympics founder Anise Kennedy Shriver. That is the wife of JFK, John F. Kennedy. He got assassinated in 1961. Okay, little history on that. He was aspired to become involved. Johnson, along with a small group of volunteers, then founded California Special Olympics in 1969 by conducting competition at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. For 900 individuals with intellectual disabilities. Following the first California Games in 1969, Johnson became one of the original members of the board of directors. The board worked together to raise funds and offer a modest program of swimming and track and field. In 1983, Rayford ran for president of the board to increase board participation, recognize staff are most effectively using each person's talents to expand fundraising efforts. He was elected president and served capacity until 1992, when he was named chairman of the board of governors. Johnson's brother Jimmy is a member of Pro Football Hall of Fame, and his daughter Jennifer compete in the beach volleyball at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, following her collegiate career at UCLA. Her son Joshua Johnson followed his father into track and field, had a podium finish at the javelin throw at the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Now, so he's still living. All right, still 83. Johnson was named Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year 1958 and won James E. Sullivan Award as a top amateur athlete at the in the United States in 1960, breaking that award color barrier. He was chosen to ignite the Olympic flames during the open ceremonies of 1984 Olympics. I read that. Okay, in 1994, he was elected the first class of World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame. So he is all right. 1994, he was elected the first class sport medal. Okay. In 1998, he was named one of the ESPN 100 greatest North American athletes in the 20th century In 2006, the NCAA named him one of the 100 most influential students athletes in the past 100 years. On August 25, 2009, Governor Schwarzenegger and Marie Shriver announced that Johnson would be 1 of 13 California Hall of Fame inductees in the California Museum year-long exhibit. The inductee ceremony was December 1st, 2009 in Sacramento, California. Johnson is the member of the Peace Game Club of Washington, D.C., National Intercollegiate All-American Football Player honoree Wafer Johnson, Junior High School, Kingston. I don't know why they keep on taking. A club of Washington, D.C., National Intercollegiate All-American Football Players Honorable Rayford Johnson Junior High School, Kingsburg, California, is named after Johnson, as is Rayford Johnson Community Days School, Rayford Johnson Children's Center, both in Bakersfield, California. The last school, which had classes for special education students for the ages of birth 5, also put on his annual Rayford Johnson Day. Every year, he speaks at the event and cheers on hundreds of students with special needs as they participate in the various track and field events. In 2010, John received the Fernando Award for silver accomplishments from the Fernando Foundation. And in 2011, he was inducted of the Bakersfield School District Hall of Fame. Additionally, Rayford now acts as an athletic advisor to Dan Guerrero, director of athletics at UCLA. He was inducted to Texas Track and Field Coach Hall of Fame class of 2016. In November 2014, John received Athletic Excellence Award, the Foundation for Global Sports Development, in recognition of his community service effort and work with youth. So it goes to show that here this brother, he he was in like some charity things, and he lived his life. So we'll put it on, like, so brother, you heard the story. What you think about it?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Um, I think this is another classic example. The all of the people you've been talking about sports wise and things like that. What I notice is I noticed that you know everybody you've read about have participated in some form of fashion politically during their time of fame, and you don't really see that anymore. A lot of our celebrities, they're not as politically active as the ones of old. It seems to me that the people of the past felt like it was an obligation to use their fame and their money and try to implement something better for their people. It seems like it's that was taken much more serious back then, where now it's almost like if you do it, you do it, if you don't, you don't, type of shit. Like we don't hold our celebrities accountable for shit like that. Where back in the day, this is just my thoughts or whatever. I think that they would have held them people accountable. Like they wouldn't have been like you not just going get rich and leave the black community. You just not gonna drive around in your $200,000 car and and we still sitting here starving. You have an obligation to your people. And I noticed that everybody you've been talking about, they've all participated in that some form of fashion. You don't just hear these people just running off and being rich and being happily ever after and never reach back, to their people. So I think that's something people should really pay attention to when you're doing these types of shows. Is that's very important. That's key. You know, our people felt obligated to be politically active. They just wasn't gonna be famous and that's all you know about them. You know, they participated, and we need to really we really need to look at that, examine that, man, because that's how you could tell the real ones from the fake ones. Because the fake ones, they gonna feel like that shit is not necessary. You know, they feel like, well, I could just do whatever I want with my money, and you can, but you can't turn around and try to run back to the black community when it's convenient. Because that's what a lot of them do. They want to say, F the black community, and then when they need help, when something happened, then they want us to be there in open arms and supporting them and shit.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say about that. Peace
Well,
to my brother Sonny.
Peace to you, brother.
okay.
Yeah, peace, man. Honest to everyone in the chat, man. Honest to the panel. Yeah, my thoughts exactly with the brother She Stay Sleep. I was thinking the same thing, you know what I mean, as far as everybody that you've been reading so far in our past, you know what I mean, have been active in some sort of fashion into you know, political arena as far as trying to do what they can to uplift our people. And I echo the same thing my brother said. We don't see too much of it right now. Um, LeBron James, he's doing a little bit. You know what I mean? Kaepernick, he's doing a little bit also. Kaepernick did something real big. That's why right now I'm not even watching the NFL at all. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think that it's good to look at people like that because it kind of helps inspire us to want to do better. You know what I mean? So honor to the brother for his marvelous works.
And anybody want to say something in the chat, feel free. I think for me, and I want you to elaborate on this too, you're both brothers, and even in the chat, what impressed me about it that when he was at the 1968 Democratic convention, despite they was unsuccessful, he put his life on the line, trying to protect, the Robert F. Robert F. Kennedy. I mean, they was unsuccessful, but to me, he was always a person that wasn't afraid of, be different, have courage. He always, and also what impressed me, he throughout, he always cared about, like I said, he always cared about the community, but he always cared about kids. And then at the same time, he was an excellent person that, run administrations and stuff like that. And so, that impressed me. So what your brothers, your both brothers could chime on that.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Anytime you do something outside of yourself to where you're risking your life for someone else, that's something very powerful. You know what I mean? That's like one of the highest levels of love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think we all need to learn how to love instead of hate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? His love for the children, because you know what I mean, the future's in the children. I believe that that's something that we all can gleam on. You know what I mean? Just like I was saying, everybody that you bring to the table, as far as great ones of our past, we should be able to look at some of the things that they did and try to apply some new things in in our lives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yeah.
pass the mic with that one.
Okay, she stay asleep.
um, well, what I heard too that he did is he advocated for people with special needs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that's something that I will always commend. It takes a lot for someone to want to do that, and it takes a lot to deal with that,
Mm-hmm.
so I definitely commend him for that also, because a lot of people definitely forget about those types of people in the world. Those people are just looked at and, walked right past.
Mm-hmm.
People don't think about, people really don't think about those people in the world, especially people who's well to do and, you know, could feel like they don't owe nobody nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So we always gotta commend that too. That's real big to reach back down to the people with special needs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what impressed me, like the ones that I read about it and for the family, they most passed away. They left a big mark. They left, they left a legacy. He's still living. He's still living out. What he still do those things. He's up in his 80s right now, and so he's doing his thing and stuff like that. But there is really, if y'all want to challenge it, but there is a person. Oh, Sandra Brown Queen, welcome back. Nice seeing you again. Miss you. But there's one person that I have to bring up, and this person always have impact me too. That is Oscar Robertson. He's a famed NBA one of the 50th great NBA basketball players of all time. He all plus he played the 1960 Olympic Games in basketball that they won gold, and also he was. They say he was the Jackie Robinson of the NBA. He was one. He's the first one with Jerry West that in back in 1964 All-Star games. They almost didn't play because the conditions with the players and stuff was very, very deplorable. And him and Jerry West, and that's another thing. That's another one of the best basketball players ever. He played the 60 Laker team. They was going to the finals most of the year, but they always lose to Boston. But Jay West finally got one like in the early '70s. But get back to Oscar Robertson, all his time, he been fighting. He was in his own way. He fought too. And at the same time, the University of Cincinnati, they put a black cat, and they treat him rough, like racism, and it's still to this day and stuff. And so I do know what I said about Oscar Robertson. To me, is that he don't get enough credit. They always see him and they always knock him because he knows the game. Well, he's very intelligent. And so when the teams that he played for Cincinnati, they always ran into Boston, but Boston already beat them. But they see Boston had the players. They didn't in Cincinnati. They didn't have the players. So Oscar Robertson went on with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was going on his second year in the NBA. The young Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was him and the Milwaukee Bucks. That's what Cincinnati traded him, I believe, to Kansas City. But then Kansas City moved him to Milwaukee. This back in the early 70s. And they won their first championship in 71. He won his first championship. Now, we already know about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He won like 5 more championships with the Lakers back in the 80s and stuff like that. But to me, Oscar Robertson do not get the credit that he deserves. And I want after I said that, brothers, I want y'all to chime on
And can you hear me? Yeah, indeed, man. Oscar Robertson was a beast, man. You know what I mean? And that was back in the day when the NBA was dealing with a lot of racism back in the days. You know what I mean? So not only him, but a whole bunch of other NBA players had to deal with a whole bunch of uh, racist foolishness, man.
that.
You know what I mean? So Oscar Robertson was a beast. You're right, man. He didn't get the credit that was due him for his career and everything that he done outside of his career. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So honest to that brother. Is that brother still alive right now, yo?
Yes, he's still alive. I think he up in his 80s too.
Wow. I'm not at that age to where I got to see him a lot, but the video footage that I did see, he was one of the trendsetters of the league. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of the new players um, that came after him, they kind of patterned their game after him.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and yeah, I mean, cut you off. You can go more on that, son, and then she stay asleep. And then but a lot of people don't understand. For a few years, he the first one averaged a triple double,
Yeah,
and
true.
and plus in his later years, right in the 90s, I think his daughter was very sick. At that time, she was grown, and he gave his kidney so his daughter could live. And then as people say like, "Oh, you gave a kidney." He to him it wasn't a beast. That's my daughter, and he don't get the credit he deserves. They call him because he's a mean spirit, a moody person. But I always say understand what he had to overdo. And he played this in high school. He played in the segregated league. I'm talking about in high school. Then he went to University of Cincinnati. They put a black cat in there, so racial. And then they had to deal with the racism back in, he went to that's the NBA team had it there. Cincinnati had an NBA team back in the 60s. And so they always get into the playoffs, but they always get bumped up by Boston, but they never have him. They always blame him for everything, but they didn't have players and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, he always standing for what's right and everything, the conditions and stuff. The locker room and the conditions and stuff for the play association. You guys salute that brother, the great Oscar Robinson. On your take, she stay sleep.
Well, I don't know too much about him, but because I'm young or whatever, and I never really looked it up. But from what I hear, you know, he was basically like top 10 all time, greats.
Mm-hmm.
So I just respect him on that, and the things that you know you put me on to, you know, leads to a whole nother level of respect outside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, that ties into what I was saying earlier about how all of the older players felt it was important to be politically active and to do something for their people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's very important and stuff like that. And what about you, Sonny? Anything you want to add on? Cause I'm gonna add another name. Cause most likely 8 o'clock we gonna close this out. You know. So anything else you want to add on?
Yeah, man. Just real briefly, Oscar Robinson, he did have an impact on some of the new players. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Oscar Robinson was known for the sweet layup, teardrop layup that he used to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, he used to kind of glide in the air and just like lay the ball up so beautifully. Um, it reminds me of Grant Hill, the way Grant Hill used to play. You know what I mean? A lot of the some of the 80s and 90s players kind of pattern that game after that brother. He always did put up good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, he did have an impact, even though he's not really mentioned like most of the ones who won a lot of championships and things of that nature. But he was a great player. You know what I mean? But I wasn't around to see every single game. You know what I mean? So what I've seen was on documentaries and off of YouTube videos and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
He had a beautiful game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what impressed me about him. Um, oh, my sis, Lockhead Boss Lady, thanks for coming. Salute to you, sister. And there is I'm bringing two names. I'm not gonna really get to it, but I'm gonna get into it. But um, Shara Miller, she was one of the ones that helped collegiate help on women's basketball, women's sports, period. And there is a person that really, really he don't. Oh my God, he don't get the credit deserved. Is the great Hank Aaron, the home run hitter, and like that. But he was one of the few baseball players that that supported Kurt Flood on a low low. He was on one of those brothers too that was fighting against racism in baseball in his own way. He was fighting for the because the line coaches that they had on baseball back then, they didn't they wasn't even considered have man they was even considered managers. And in his own way, Hank Aaron fought for that. And so for me, it's like I had to pay homage to Lisa Leslie. She dunked the ball, but that was big. But Cheryl Miller put a stamp in it and everything. And also I forgot her first name. I don't know if she coached at Rutgers University, but I know back in the days her last name is Stringer. She's a women's black coach from Rutgers University, and Now I'm talking about back in the '90s. These are trailblazers that help our community and stuff like that. And then I want y'all to chime on that too, because it's very, very important. Oh yeah, I forgot 1.2. And I want them not talk about they in their own way they help our community. And then like the lady, like the women, sports and stuff, y'all need to pay homage to definitely Cheryl Miller. And it was one sister like decades ago. She was ahead of her time too, but I forgot her name. But if I look that up, when I find it, I'm gonna read that too. But Cheryl Miller and Lisa Leslie when she dunked the ball, and then you got Cynthia Cooper of WWNBA. She played for Houston when they won those consecutive four championships back in the '90s. And but these are the people that made a southern impact, you know, in our in our community and outside. Brothers, y'all can chime in after what after I said.
You was just talking about Cheryl Miller, right?
Yeah, you can talk ceremony, yeah.
Yeah, man, she was a beast, yo. She was instrumental as far as helping the WNBA. You know what I mean? Who she played for the the Sparks, right? Or Houston?
Not Cheryl Miller. You talking about Cheryl Swoops.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
Who,
I
who,
forgot about Cheryl Swoops too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Who did Cheryl Miller play for?
Cheryl didn't play for the WBT team at the time because I think at the time she was older. But I know that I think she was a cast. She was a sportscaster for a while in WBA, NBA, and then that's when she moved to the NBA. But Cheryl Miller won consecutive gold medals in the Olympic Games. And I think she played for some college in California. I think UCLA, something like that. But she everybody consider her one of the great female players in college.
So she ran track.
Who, Cheryl Miller?
Yeah, what did she do?
No, basketball. That's Reggie Miller's older sister.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cause she like this. She went to coaching also.
Yeah, she did some coaching too. But see, at the time there was no WNBA because so most of the women they would have to go to overseas. And
Right.
I think she's a legend over there too. Now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had a J on her, yo.
Yeah. She had a handle too, yo. Yeah, she nasty too. She could back you up and everything put down. She reminded me a little bit of Oscar Rouse. Oscar Rouse was the same way too. Back you up and turn around and stuff like that. But I do want to talk about the people that I mentioned and stuff like that. You know, anybody can chime in and stuff like that.
I do know that she was very instrumental in you know what I'm saying, when I was coming up, as far as the young women, because for a while before you know, the WNBA came out, it wasn't a whole bunch of you didn't see a whole bunch of women playing basketball. All of a sudden, we see a whole bunch of girls start playing with the guys. You know what I mean? Wearing the jerseys. You know what I mean? Um, these women were trendsetters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I passed the mic on that one.
Go ahead, she say sweet. You can go ahead.
Well, from what I know, Cheryl Miller, she was like one of the early advocates to even pushed for it to be a female NBA.
Mm-hmm.
She was an advocate for that. She been wanted she been felt and always spoke out that there should be a NBA for women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was never really pushed by no by too many women. She's like one of the forerunners for that. So you definitely gotta commend her on that because now you have a lot of young girls growing up and wanting to go to the NBA, and there's actually an NBA for them. You know, it's not just a male dominated sport. So we definitely gotta commend Cheryl Miller for that because I know that she was always big on that.
Mm-hmm.
So and she was a good coach in the WNBA too.
Mm-hmm. And
She was a
excellent.
great coach. She was a
Yeah.
great.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying she was a great coach. I forgot the team she coached, but she used to get real upset. She's very passionate about the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she the one taught Reggie how to play basketball, the fire and stuff like that. And also, like again, maybe people just hit. Sarah Miller was very good. Sarah was very instrumental of the Women Olympics having winning consecutive gold medals. Because back in the 70s, women was playing, but us, and I mean USA was not represented. So she almost single-handedly, that she put women's sports period on the map. I'm talking about all women's sports on the map. And we need to thank Sharon Miller and also Lisa Leslie. That's her inspiration right there. And
Yeah,
so, okay.
yeah. Lisa Leslie was a beast, man. You know what I mean? She was like she played center, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was like you know what I mean, to me, you know, watching her play, I put her up there with you know what I mean, skill wise, like, you know what I mean, Patrick Ewing and players of that nature as far as skill wise. She was very, very skilled, very, very skilled player. Good at blocking shots, good on the inside game. Um, you know, turnaround jumpers. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
she played in the league for a while. And I'm not sure how many championships she's got, but I know she had a few championships.
Yeah, she got a few championships, and also she's the first woman dunk the ball WNBA.
Yeah,
The
I
first
remember that.
in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, I remember that, man.
Huh?
And I remember them in Houston used to go at it.
Yeah, they used to go on yesterday. Yeah, she used to play with the LA Sparks. And in
Hmm.
Houston, they used to play for the Western Conference Finals. And they, whatever team win, they used to always win like championships and stuff like that. And that's when like throughout the year you see Michelle Snow, dunking the ball because they got Lisa Leslie and stuff like that. And that's when, and then also get back to Houston on WNBA. The women at that time, the women was, at that time WNBA it wasn't really kicking off, but when Houston started winning those titles, and also Houston, then you had LA. They started making they money. You got the New York Liberty. They had Rebecca Lobo, but she never panned out because her because of her knees and stuff. She played. Now I'm talking about she's white, but Rebecca Lobo, she played in them great Connecticut teams back in the '90s. People don't understand. If people don't know, Connecticut got mad. I'm talking about the women. I'm talking about the women. Connecticut got a lot of championships in women. A lot of great players come from Connecticut. They usually be playing the WNBA. And so Lisa Leslie was part of that. Rector Lobo, but it's so funny, when they first the WNBA came in existence, I believe the mid-90s, they picked Rebecca Lobo first over Lisa Leslie. And in a way, it kind of worked out because Lisa Leslie, she just took the league by storm, and then that's when Houston started form their dynasty back, in the 90s, and they make their runs in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and so Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson. I'm talking about not the Tina Thompson you see right now. I'm talking about the real Tina Thompson. The one where different lipstick. Man, fine as hell too. Man, she had them. Now let me behave myself. But man, that's Tina Thompson.
She had a mean streak to her.
Oh, she had a mean streak. So, so I'm talking about sisters that made an impact and stuff like that. And we had to and it's got to, but it's not like they paid the way for women. They paid the way in our community too. You know, you don't forget about Dawn Stanley. She won consecutive gold medals and stuff. Originally from Philadelphia. How she got tough. She played with guys, and so all that happening, so we got to salute these women and stuff and everything. So your take, brothers.
I remember also Lisa Leslie. She kind of tried to delve into a little bit of acting. Also, she had a
Yeah.
few cameos. I remember seeing her on the Martin show. You know what I mean? Smashing Martin, Cole, and Tommy. You know what I mean? She was on a few different shows too, man. You know what I mean? She after she got, what I mean, during her career, then towards the end of her career, I remember seeing her in a few different shows or whatnot, but she had a marvelous career. You know what I mean? I remember like I said before, just watching them battle, them in Houston just battle.
Yeah, and plus, people forgot about this in the WNBA. Cynthia Cooper considered the Jordan of WNBA at the time.
Facts. Facts. Matter of fact, she was one of my favorite players.
Oh, I used to love Cooper, man. Damn.
Facts.
She was fine. People here, I don't know. Oh, she fine. She was a Jordan of WNBA, and a lot of people. What do you mean? Because she could do it all. And
And she
then,
was clutch.
huh?
She was a very clutch player.
Very clutch player. Always, and I'm gonna tell you, very underrated on defense too. That's what I'm saying. To me, she's very, she's one of the best, well-rounded, and she actually almost single-handedly took the WNBA to the next plateau. Especially, it helps her when you have them great Houston teams, and so that means a lot to me. She stays asleep.
Well, I definitely agree with that with Cynthia Cooper. She definitely took it to the next level. I think she had the most MVPs,
Yeah.
all of that. So
Yeah.
she definitely her I'm gonna say her, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, um, and a couple of more people, Teresa Weatherspoon,
Yes.
um, and it was a couple of more people, man, but they pretty much is the ones that made the WNBA what it was. They're the reason why the WNBA is still here today.
Yeah.
Because people never, when the WNBA first came out, a lot of people thought that, it wouldn't stay long. They thought it'd have one season and then it'll be done because they thought people didn't want to watch women play basketball. But those women were exciting, man. They made dudes watch that shit. It was very exciting, very competitive. And, it's because of them that we still have a WNBA today for a lot of young women to go to the next level. So definitely got to thank them people, because them women rather, because they made the men watch. So
Facts.
Yeah. So and that was the thing that I'm gonna be a few minutes, brother Rob. If you want to join, let me know, because I'm gonna be close out in a few minutes. But I think that and also one thing too, that they was on. See, people thought, oh, they went to a good team. No, these are those expansion teams. So it took a few years to really build stuff. I know, we had, they had good teams. We just had, we didn't have enough no good players. You know what I'm saying? And Teresa Weatherspoon, and Chef, that's another one. That's another trailblazer. She from Louisiana Tech back in the 80s. She was one of them sisters that, think about it, that she had to go overseas for years, and almost 16, 17, almost 14, 15 years later, she was WNBA. Playing them great Olympic teams, great 80 women Olympic teams and 90s too, that run the table. Another Teresa Weatherspoon. Tamika Catchings. So, and I did say Tina Thompson, and so then and other women that came in, we gotta pay homage to these sisters, and we have to, and these young sisters out here, you need to pay homage to these women, because these women, they also they was not just basketball players, they was entrepreneurs. They was entrepreneurs, so they play. They didn't play or paint. They play. They play with their nails done. They had they all hooked up and everything. Yeah, it was pretty, but I don't know what's WNBA right now, because some of them look like butchers, but that's another story. But back then they were pretty. You wouldn't mind watching. They thump it out. They went at it. I used to be see they posted, yeah. I see cool, yeah, cool posted up, yeah. See how she used to bend. I said, dang, cool, you just know. No, I did, man. But the women in our community, you gotta pay homage to these women. You know what I'm saying? Because they bring fashion, they bring greatness to our community. They even have young boys to watch them. How they engage with our young black men too, our young black boys. That you could strive to be what you want to be, because sometimes we think, oh yeah, we could learn from man. Yeah, we could learn from man. Yes, no doubt. But also we could learn from a woman too, and just as a young girl could learn from a man too, and so.
Yeah.
So for me, we have to get back and start let the gender get in the way and stuff. So, but my thing is that I just bring up some people because they need to know, and we got to get back to learn about our history, because it's not long ago. It's like what I'm talking about. Some people that's like within 80, 90 years, and and so. We gotta think of these people as trailblazers and stuff. And on that note, I'm gonna brothers, I want y'all to stay right there. I'm gonna read the names out, And then I'm gonna, before I close it out, the brothers are gonna make their last remarks, and I'm gonna make my last remarks, and I'm gonna close it out. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope everybody came, and thank you so much. Slim Griff, thanks for coming. Very much big come back. Clarence Ray, thanks for coming. Support my brother. Clarence Ray, he be bringing knowledge, spiritual, and history, and I want you to give him give him some support. Subscribe to the brother. Got some excellent information. Slim Grip, LDBC. Shout out to the LDBC. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let me see. Hold on. Let me put this in before I continue. Um, but I'm glad you came out. Very much appreciated. Um, there you go. Slim Grip, thanks to Emmanuel nephew. Thanks for coming. PK Boxing MMA. Support subscribe to each other in the chat too and participate. Thanks for coming. Sunny Boss Talk, she say I'll get with y'all in a few. I see Queen, thanks for coming. Always your support. Thank you so much. Nikki, thanks for coming. Very much appreciated. Roddy Chicker 59, thanks for coming, sis. And your sisters, thank y'all so much to support me and my brother. She stay sleep, even Sunny and his channel, because your women, you're making it grow. And I salute to your queens. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. And okay, I got IC. Okay. 89 TV. Support the brother, the young brother. He got some great stuff on there. Support him. Oh, Ronald Gomez, LDBC family. Thanks for the encouragement. I'm always on the grind. Doctors be getting it done. Just as she say, sleep, getting it done. Yeah, support my brother. She stay sleep and Sunny too. All right. All right, no name Rose. Thanks for coming, sister. Come back. Princess X, thanks for coming and your input. Come back. We got some good stuff. Come back. All right. Lockhead Boss Lady, thanks for coming, my sister. Thanks for your support. Subscribe to the sister Lockhead Boss Lady. She got great information. Nature, health. I mean, it doesn't go for women, it goes for men too. So subscribe to sister. Great information. I recommend. Subscribe to sister. Right there. Lockhead Boss Lady. Yeah, beautiful too. All right, Princess X. Okay. Oh, I said Princess X. Hey, what's up, Princess X again? All right, my good brother Rob. So also subscribe to him. The educator in our community. Good brother Rob. Subscribe to him. I said no name Rose. Okay. And subscribe to me, the Underrated Darkness. Wherever I come through, you hit the bell. Yo, make sure you get it first. All right. So subscribe to Sunny Boss Talk. Well, anyway, Sunny will have a channel, but still support him. And also subscribe to my brother. She stay sleep. All right. So we're gonna start off Sunny first. Your last remarks.
Indeed, man. Honest to everyone who came out to the chat. You know what I mean? Honest again to the panel. My last remarks. I do remember seeing the impact personally with the women with the WNBA. I remember being in school one day, and it was just one particular young lady that me and her we were really cool. You know what I mean? She used to talk. We used to sit on the bus and talk. She would just tell me about her dream to want to be in the WNBA. You know what I mean? She was pretty good in basketball. You know what I mean? I supported the young sister, but she was like very very beautiful. You know what I mean? So it was like all my homeboys, they were beasts. They were, you know what I mean? A lot of they were womenizers. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I remember telling my homeboy he was trying to, you know what I mean? He's about to mess her up, yo. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, man, leave her alone, yo. You know what I mean? Cause she was a good girl. And I ain't want him to, you know what I mean, taint what her dream was. Cause we used to sit down and talk, and she was like, yo, I want to, you know what I mean? I want to be in the WNBA. She used to come, her favorite teams was the Sparks. Her favorite player was Lisa Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I ain't want her to be deterred from her focus. You know what I mean? So I kind of scared away some of my homeboys. So, you know what I mean, she can, you know what I mean, have a chance. Because a lot of times, the young ladies, they um, bear children at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, they got a responsibility. So sometimes some of their visions and dreams might get on hold. So I remember seeing the impact that the WNBA has had. You know what I mean? As far as me, it seemed like even after the great players that we was discussing about, after they retired, for me it seemed like the WNBA took a little hit. You know what I mean? Kind of wasn't the same no more. But I'm looking for the days when I haven't seen it in a while, to be honest with you. But it just seemed like to me back then, I think for me, when I think about it, it was at its highest peak.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it'll get back to the glory. But that's all I wanted to say. I hope everyone in the chat, everyone in the panel have a peaceful rest of your day, rest of your night, whatever. Be peaceful. Love you all.
All right, good looking, good looking. She stay sleep.
I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. Um, Once again, I always like these shows where you bring different sports people, you know, to the audience. It's good that we have a little sports history because you know usually on YouTube most people they just bring a lot of historians far as like political and um all of this conscious stuff rather. But a lot of us don't know that we rule sports too. We pretty much ran it all, man. But we do need to know about the sports stuff. So um, it's always cool to learn about our sports history. So shout out to everybody. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next week.
Okay. Thanks a lot. And subscribe to the brother She Stay Sleep TV. Subscribe to the brother She Stay Sleep TV. Always great information. Always information to inspiration, to inspire us. And then check out Sunny too. What I'm gonna say is just that's what the Underrated Sports Show with my brother She Stay Sleep. And even I could say, Sonny, you be coming on for a while now. That's what we all about, to be diverse. And sisters, we had to dig more in to learn about that part of history. To show these young ladies that they could be inspired in a good way. Because, and it goes for boys too, but I'm a young boy, but I'm talking to young women now. The way how it is right now is not good. And the ones that I mentioned, that I talked about, they are great inspiration. They show them how to be a lady. You know, they didn't compromise. And it seems like quite a few of our young girls have to compromise, and at the same time, some women do not get the picture too. So I'm talking about the ones that control the airwaves. And then especially us as brothers too, women too. We gotta put them through the fire. Listen, I know you producing stuff, but we want to see positive image of our young black um women and boys. And that's very important. So what I learned personally tonight, that let's seek out for the positive image in our community. It don't have to be grown up or young. And that's very important. And on that note, I, on behalf of Sunny Boxing Talk, my brother, and my other brother, Sheep Stay Sleep TV, have a good night. Tell the people about this live stream. Let's get them likes and the views up and everything. And just what Sonny, he be on 7A Sports TV chat, on Ticket Chat. He be on Fannin Chat. I'm talking about the LDBC. Shout out to the LDBC and UGC. Shout out to y'all. And check them out, those chats. And also She Stay Sleep TV. Subscribe to the brother. And also subscribe to yours truly, the underrated darkness, the underrated one, the realest. So greatly appreciate it. Have a good night. On that note, ghosts.